Hi, I'm Miss Susan, and this is
Brandon.
And this is
STEMtastic Stations.
Virtual Edition. Yeah! And today we are going to make parachutes for toys. Actually, we made parachute for this particular toy. What toy is this?
Legos.
It's a Lego man.
It's actually called Robin.
It's a Robin Lego man that we had found in his toy box. But we made several different parachutes. We kind of did a trial and error to figure out which parachute would work the best. So we made, the first one that we made was actually this one, which is just made out of a plastic bag. It was really small. And then we made one out of coffee filter, like this. And then we decided to go even bigger, and we made one this big.
With a hole in the middle so that we can control it.
With a hole in the middle so that we can control it. And then I wanted to see if it would work better with like a little basket for the toy. So I made one with the cups on the bottom. And then I was like, well, maybe we should try it with a bigger parachute and see how it would work. And so I made a really huge one. So out of all of them, actually, it was this one that did the best. So that's the one that we're going to actually show you how to make. And then we'll also put some videos at the end to show you how each of the different parachutes did. So you want to do this? You want to show them how to make it? Okay, so for this one, to make it easier to cut out, I just decided to grab a Target bag and I cut the circle out of the Target bag because it was easy and I didn't have to measure anything, and all of them came out the same. So that's what like that. So I just cut the circle out of the Target bag. And then what I did was we also cut out some string. So this is just 2 feet of string, so it's 24 inches of string. I did 2 different ones. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a piece of tape on 4 equal distant places on our parachute, and this tape is just there to kind of reinforce so it doesn't tear easily. So I put one on each side, and here, you want to do it? One on the top and one on the bottom. As equally distanced as you can make it. And then I used a hole punch to punch a hole in each of those sides, each of those pieces of tape. Okay. Oh, good job. There's one there. Oops, gotta pull it up. Pull it up. There we go. Make sure you're getting it the piece of tape, otherwise it doesn't work. There you go. Ooh, is it hard? The hole puncher that I can find in my house is actually the one that makes really, really small holes, but that's okay. Whatever you can find in your house will work. Oh. Last one.
And sometimes it could right here. Then you have to just pull it up a little.
Yeah, it gets stuck sometimes. Oh, very good. Okay, so after we made all of our holes, we're going to use this string to make kind of a harness for our little Lego guy, so we can put the toy in there. So what we did is we actually just used 2 pieces of string, and we actually tied the string to, if you kind of turn it, to the same side. So not like across from each other, but right next to each other. So if you want to tie it here and then here, can you do that?
I don't know how to tie, but I can only just.
You want me to show you how to do a tie?
I don't know how to tie my shoe.
You do know how to tie your shoe?
I don't know how to tie my shoe.
So I used a square knot and I made that out of wood. So let's see if you can I can show you how to make a square knot. Doesn't really matter what knot you use as long as it stays and doesn't come apart. All right, don't pull it out too much because you still need to have some left over. You got it. Go ahead. I'll let you do it. And then you could do it just like this if you want. If you can just have it where you stick the toy's arms in the loops like this. Or what we did in this one over here is
tied
we made
knot and another knot to make a circle.
Yeah, we made a little, we did a loop knot. So if you want to do a loop knot on the ends to make it where they have a little place to put their arms like that, you can do that. And that is how you make a parachute.
And if you want to do the poke in the hole, you can go get a pencil and then poke a hole. I'm going to go get one.
Okay, so you need your other pencil? Yep, you need this. What's great about the Target is it already has the center there, so all you have to do is poke a hole in the center. And what the hole in the center does is it allow the air flow to go, actually you might want to make that slightly bigger. It allows you to let the air flow, instead of it all pushing off to the side, it gives it, allows some of the air to come through the middle. So it helps it balance it out. So that is how you make a parachute, and you can just stick your toy in there. Since we had a Lego man, we just stick our toy, arms, and
we can only do that one because if it's too heavy, it could just go slam.
Yeah, it depends on how big your toy is, as how big you want to make your parachute, right? And you have to consider when we were making this one, we realized that we couldn't get high enough for the actual parachute to open up, and then so it can go down and actually catch the air. But that's all we have. We're going to show you some videos of our trials. I encourage you to try different things with this and make your own parachute. You can use whatever materials you can find in your house. You can use you can use string, you can use whatever you can find.
Like yarn,
anything like that. Just keep in mind the different aerodynamics of it, and how you want to be able to catch the air molecules so that it will be able to float. And that's all we have.
If you don't have a hole puncher, you can buy one, or you can use the pencil for all 5 of the stuff.
You can, yeah. And you can try different materials too. So most of the stuff that we use is plastic, but we also use the coffee filters, which is made out of paper. And you can use napkins as well. Do you want to say bye?
Bye.
Bye.
Since understanding the science behind the parachute will help you design one, I'm going to go ahead and explain exactly what is going on when you see something fall. The first thing you need to understand is the reason things fall to the ground when you drop them is because of gravity. On Earth, the force of gravity is dependent on the mass of the object and the distance between it and the Earth. One way to decrease the rate of falling, or the force of gravity, is to create a force that is going in the opposite direction. There's actually something that already does that, the air. The air around us is made up of tons of different molecules that are pushed away as things go through them. Normally, the force from the air, or the air resistant, is significantly less than the force from gravity, so most things fall to the ground fairly fast. So if you want to slow the fall down, you're going to need to create more air resistant or drag. In this case, we're going to use a parachute to do that. A parachute creates drag by trapping the air molecules and making it harder to go through them. The more drag you create, the slower the object is going to fall, letting the object land safely to the ground. So what are some ways that we can create more drag? Well, you can make your parachute bigger or create more surface area so it can catch more air, creating more drag. Or you can make your parachute as light as possible, since having less mass decreases the force of the gravity or the speed in which the object falls to the ground. Control is also an important part of parachute design. You will need to consider the mechanics of your parachute and also the shape of your parachute. By simply putting a hole in the center of your parachute, you'll be able to control your parachute better because the air will have another place to go other than the edge of the parachute. All of these things will help you create a parachute that will slow down enough to land safely to the ground. Here are some of our videos of us testing our different parachutes.